And actually also, like, I think there's, with the new patch especially, there's so much to talk about that kind of. Get Gareth.
Yeah.
Get Gareth to do it, because he's a guy that, like, you really have to push him, because he doesn't think his ideas are good.
So we better get ready, because
You really tell. He doesn't have enough confidence. His ideas in Dota are actually quite good.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. All right, let's get ready. All right, 5, 4, 3. Before the action is over, but it's not, folks. We are back with more the CHONGQING Major CIS qualifiers. That's right, we've got no PANGOLIER versus GAMBIT Esports, of course. I'm still Killer Pigeon and still blowing away his stats, just completely theory crafting the entirety of the in-between these series is Nahaz. He's ready to laugh at this techies ban again, I think.
You know what, though? I would do it. I would absolutely do it. Playing against Topanga with Zayats, a guy that has basically theory crafted the entire map with mind placements. Heck yeah, I don't want to see techies. I mean, it's just a hero that you don't want to play against. It adds so much uncertainty to the game.
That's a fair point. And the interesting thing for bans this time around is that they focus them almost all on supports, right? So all the big battles.
If you are banning against no PANGOLIER, let me just give you the scouting report. You are banning out supports. I would never ban a core against this team, despite what we just saw them do. I would never ban like, they're 3 through 5. They're just so solid. And if you're able to take away what Sioma and Zayats can do, you are going to beat no PANGOLIER.
10 seconds.
That's true. These guys have been playing together for a long time. They know each other inside out, and that's actually one of the scariest things I think we see in Dota, is when you've got a support duo that know each other so intricately.
In American football, offense.
That's oh wow. Okay.
I wanted to cast these qualifiers. I don't do a lot of casting, okay, but I think it's really fun to cast right after these patches come out, because we're all sort of figuring things out, and I think it's fun to actually, like, read chat a little bit and read Reddit, and like, we're all figuring stuff out together. And anybody that tells you right now that they know what the model is going to be is deluded. I think nobody knows what this hero is going to be.
That's true. I know there's a lot of Cottle fans that hate the rework. I can kind of understand certain elements. For example, Mana Leak was one of the most frustrating things in the game to deal with.
I was one of those people that actually liked Mana Leak. It was such a unique ability, and it was so situationally broken. Like, that to me, those two words are like Dota in a nutshell. Situationally broken.
Oh, yeah.
If everything's OP, nothing is. And that's why I just loved abilities like Blinding Light and like Mana Leak.
Love the fact you say that. It's literally what I say to everyone who goes, that sounds overpowered. It's like, it's Dota, baby. Everything's overpowered.
Well, the funny thing is, right, so I'm relatively, like, new to this stuff. I never played Dota 1, and I never played Han. And if you look at if you listen to some of the old Han players describe Han mechanics, it's like, what? It sounds like the game would be unplayable. But it's the same thing. If you were describing Dota mechanics to somebody that never played Dota, it's just, but it all comes together so beautifully. That's just what makes the game what it is.
Oh, that's a fair way of looking at it. The other thing to highlight is, we talked about Keep It Light a little bit. Bane got picked, and of course this hero got a disgusting rework on his Enfeeble.
I mean, where's my Pyrian Flax when I need him? F that hero, okay? Bane, first of all, I hate status resistance. I said it in the last series. I think it's the worst mechanic introduced in Dota since the XP gold mechanics in 6.82. I think the idea that you have a status resistance increase in Arcane Supremacy and in the new Bane ability that all of a sudden it makes all these spells, including channeled ones, last longer. You know, you see the Reddit gifts of the 18-second Fiend's Grip, and you combine it potentially with the AoE control of something like a Sand King. It's just it's a disgusting hero. Now, the one thing, of course, Bane is not quite as good against BKB carries because Enfeeble the reworked ability no longer pierces BKB. But you do have that Fiend's Grip. One of the big things that we saw in the last series was that this and they had no BKB breakers. Well, Gambit already have multiple abilities that work against BKB, and they've got a Medusa that is not going to necessarily be afraid of those big PA crits. Much, much better drafting against what No Pangolier is going to bring.
Yeah, this is actually scary for PA because before that pick, okay, not too bad. But the moment you see the Medusa, if you jump in, unless you got an Abyssal, there's going to be an immediate use of the ultimate, and you have to run away, which means you're not getting your attack speed from the Blink Strike anymore. You're done. You just have to run.
Where are you on the Lone Druid rework?
It's intriguing. I haven't seen it too much. I've heard a lot about it.
I actually kind of like it. I like it on paper because I think what it's kind of doing with the hero is it's saying, all right, you're still going to have a hero that can split push, but we're going to give you these subtle incentives to fight with your bear. And I like that. It makes the hero, it preserves the hero's utility, but it makes him a little bit more powerful when he's fighting with the bear and when he's fighting with his team. Because that was, you know, you got into too many situations before with Lone Druid where the game dragged on, the bear started to feel like paper, and really all the Lone Druid could do and contribute effectively was split push and maybe join engagements and try and KS. And I think this incarnation of Lone Druid is a little bit better balanced with how the tempo of the game is going to be.
All right, 1 sec. I think you've gone a little bit robo. We'll restart the call, see if that fixes it.
Select your heroes.
All right, let's see if you yeah, there you go. You're clear now. You're good.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's a Discord problem, but we're on the.
Oh, it's back. It's back.
Oh no, am I a robot again?
Yeah, you're like, it's like not full robot though. It's like towards the end of a word you say. It's really weird.
Oh.
But like,
okay.
I probably clear up
the mic settings and stuff on my end.
But like, I think.
Well, if it doesn't clear up, we can go. We can use another program.
It looks good now.
All right.
But I think just to go back to Lone Druid, like, you're right. I like what they've done. They've kind of given more clear roles. Like before, it was always one was strong and the other wasn't, if that made sense. Like you'd always choose one to be your right-click damage, and the other was just kind of left at the side of the road. Whereas now it's kind of this logic of you build your hero as this right-click king, and then your bear is more like this kind of tank, or you could go for a right-click build, but it's really going to be focused around ratting only.
A little bit surprised by the last pick, Nyx Assassin here, given the lack of just sort of squishy heroes on the side of Gambit Esports, and the lack of one of the things I thought you were going to see in this patch was Nyx Assassin picks that sort of exploit the break, right? Like I thought you might see Nyx Assassin picked against PA, but you know, now that the Vendetta applies a 4-second break, but there's nobody really on the side of Gambit that breaking them does anything.
That's true. I mean, look at this, though. It's not the worst pick, because typically you pick it up against the Medusa, right? At the same time, Phoenix by Carapace interaction is very hard to not get stunned.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Also Ember. That's fire as well. Like, I think most of them aren't squishy, but Ember's the exception. So I feel like this is targeted the Ember.
Carapace is the key, and I think that we talked about in the last series, anytime you talk about Phoenix, it's you want to have a device playing against a Phoenix to disrupt that sort of team fight flow, that combination of spells. And despite Carapace, you know, Phoenix is always going to be trying to get Fire Spirits out to protect the egg, so you're always going to get that Spike Carapace stun onto him to disrupt sort of that spell flow. You know, the Ember, obviously, with the Flame Guard up, he's always going to have to deal with the stun. It's not a bad pick. I question Ghost Stick's got to get in and out of fights and got to stick on very specific targets to have the kind of impact that we saw from him in the last series. And again, this is kind of what you know, No Pango struggled with yesterday. I believe it was Ghost Stick Axe, Zayat's ET 2 games in a row, and Ghost Stick had a couple of really difficult games on Axe, and their lineup never really came together.
Fair point. They are at least going to start the lane Nyx versus Ember, which favorable one. I have talked to a few players on this, and a lot of them are suspicious that Ember mid might start to die now. Like with the changes of the way the meta's been played, it feels like a very hard hero to run mid anymore.
I think you're right. I think, you know, no longer being able to fall back on that ring of Aquila to spam your spells.
30 seconds.
Just the way that you know, then again, right? It's always been a matchup dependent hero, and people said you were going to see Ember mid never come back again after Poor Man's Shield got removed. And there are just enough high level pro players that are good laners on their own right and that are hero that I do think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, there is some merit towards the boots of travel now with the TP on a separate slot, so you can get better value. Because then you can remnant back re-football.
You know, that might bring the boots of travel change might bring Merlini back to Dota all by itself. I mean, he loves that item.
No, it's a fair point. Like the change, I've experimented with a few heroes. It's actually, any hero becomes a split pusher with that, because you have the means to get out, and you have the means to get out.
Well, it's not just a split pusher. It's that if you're a hero like Ember that can build that item early, you can split push and dive. You can split push and still be very aggressive in terms of looking for kills.
All right, fans call.
Oh yeah, the dubstep.
Yeah, Zayat is taking a decent amount of damage actually. That's not effective trading, good sir.
No.
Actually, gonna keep chasing. Brain Snap's off cooldown. No, they can kill him. He's gone.
Yeah, you're dead, buddy.
Yeah, see you later. There we go. Final hit comes out. First blood drawn by Vanscore. That's painful. At least he'll do a little bit of trading, goes to get some damage in return, but not worth it for the first blood.
Yeah, and you talk about, you know, trying to shut down the Ember Spirit in lane, and one of the big things, right? One of the big questions always when you're running Ember Spirit somewhere other than mid is he going to be able to function in a duel? And this is not a hero that wants to share XP, but of course you talk about kills can balance that equation.
That's true, but the problem is how you're going to run Flame Guard in this lane, because there will almost always be enough damage coming out from Nyx to burst through the Flame Guard, I think, especially with Leech Seed as well. So you maybe get like 2-3 seconds of Flame Guard, then it's gone. So if he prioritizes that, or if he just accepts it's unlikely you're going to be able to put many points in it.
No, it's just, you know, with Flame Guard as a mechanic, it always becomes a question of, can Ember get off to that level advantage? Because if he can, all of a sudden Flame Guard feels like God mode. If he's on level parity, especially with a bunch of, you know, magic damage supports, he feels like paper, because he has one of the worst overall stat games in the game.
True. Well, we're talking a lot about that lane, but
that's it.
They mistimed that. I think that, like, I don't know. I don't think they needed to actually use the Nightmare follow-up to control Zayats, but
nice start for both these heroes mid. This is kind of like one of those DK matches we were talking about, that both heroes are going to sort of concede farm to the other. The Medusa has an early level advantage and does have the DD rune, so she's gonna get a bit of the edge going into that critical 3 to 5 minute period.
She also has her inherent advantage just coming out in the Quarry now, which is that sticking to one pickup against the PA. There's not actually...
may go down here top.
Oh wow, no, it's getting low. He's still a slow boy.
Yeah,
but
Bane just silly tanky.
I mean, the crux here is he's already burned all of his mana. He doesn't actually have any Clarity's Mangoes, so they're going to have an injury as a result of that. A lot of damage done. Searing Chains comes out, Spike Carrot to slow him down, and they'll find the kill.
Yeah, a little bit late there.
Well, it's also the case like Vanscore couldn't do anything, because we were just saying about that mana issue. He's now got Clarity coming out, but I feel like he should have started at least one Clarity, because you're seeing the result of not doing so.
Yeah, that's one of those, you know, being aggressive with the Brain Sap early on was great because it did get you the first blood, but now as a result, you know, you got to think about that regen. It's really something you have to anticipate, especially at this level of play.
I can't have you.
As a result, I feel like this type of lane, if Nyx gets a little bit of a lead, like you're saying Ember's weaker in these sort of scenarios, I think their combo on the side of PANGOLIER is also super strong if they're just one level ahead.
Oh, it is almost universally true of an Ember Spirit that if he's a level behind, he's just going to feed. He is a hero that it's kind of like Invoker, more so in the past, but also now that he needs to be a level or two up to be effective. And Vanscore is going to be playing with fire again, but the raw tankiness of that Bane.
It'll keep him alive, but he's barely alive, and the crux of this is you're against that Nyx who also has a lot of natural regen, so you can only target Zayats, and that means you're subjecting yourself to potentially taking 100 damage per hit.
Yeah, I do like the play of the aggressive dual lane down here by the Dire. They are able to contest that right side camp in the Radiant jungle, not letting the Lone Druid get off to that sort of free farm start. They're going to get pushed back toward their own tower, but that's okay. They get the creeps, and they're coming right back to the wave.
So I just done the maths on that, and to walk from his tower to the tier 2 probably took him about, I think, around 15 seconds for Vanscore to do that.
Yep.
And this is like, there's been a bit of a discussion, is people who choose to still just deny themselves to a camp versus make that walk. Because one, it's risky. Got much difference between denying yourself to a tower and denying yourself to neutrals in terms of spawn time and time it takes to do it.
Half an Ninja, maybe.
Yeah, he can't move quick enough.
Flame guard active, but
well, doesn't matter. He'll get the salve out. Just gets far enough away. Turns around. What? Alpha Ninja? No, he misses a sleight of fist of the Searing Chains. As a result, he's going to go down.
Way over. I mean, you do not need that. Like, these early kills are so low value. Reward that is just not the EV play there.
I mean, he wouldn't even got the kills. That's had enough health. That was bad math to begin with from Alpha Ninja, and bad choices after.
I thought that DD rune would be enough to make the dots at Medusa, at least competitive in this lane, but Naive is 32 and 14 at, oh my goodness.
It's actually scary. The double Wraith ban a lot more effective on PA than on Medusa. Like you said, with the chance to miss, it's pretty frustrating. For the dagger, so you're never really getting these one charges.
And we talked about Medusa being a hero that could sustain the PA jumps and crits, but if all of a sudden, if PA gets this Deso up before Medusa has a lot of progress toward her first big stat item, that's no longer true. She still is susceptible to the PA physical damage. A little bit of a wraparound here attempt by Vanscore. He's going to spot the DD rune for his Medusa.
Question is if they can do something. Like, the lane is not pushing out at all, so Naive is pretty deep, and look at this. Slayer knows there's a Bane missing from the map, so he's lingering around mid. Also, the danger actually of the double dagger. You could actually even argue for like Phantom Strike twice because of the chakra.
Oh, they saw the word placement there too.
Oh, no value game.
Pinged it immediately.
So the quiet lane, nothing has really happened here at all. It's just been Lone Druid and a Sand King staring at each other as they farm, more or less.
Which I think is fine, again, because you're fine with trading in that lane as long as the Lone Druid isn't also like free farming the jungle, which he hasn't been. They've been very aggressive. They've understood the importance of contesting the side camp, and it's largely been the dire creeps pulled over to that side camp. So I think both teams are fine with that.
Science is in trouble. Very fast up, turns around to the Bane. Vanscore, he bit off more than he can chew.
Oh, yeah,
that is painful. Final tap.
He's only level 4.
This poor little Bane. Vanscore's pretty fast. Is he fast enough? He actually can't get close enough. Ghost Stick has got the Impale coming off cooldown. There it is. Gets the kill.
There you go.
He made him work for a little bit low. That's a little bit of space for Alpha Ninja to get some solo XP at least. Which he won't say no to at this stage. He actually does have a level advantage now.
Yeah, which is just absolutely huge against this enemy lineup.
Yeah,
especially against.
It's true. Like you were saying, it was important to get that XP advantage. It looks like that was identified by Vanscore as he just stayed far, far away. In fact, he's not even going back to the top. He's going to linger around the mid, try and help out a little bit.
I'm actually curious how he's going to build this. I think he actually has to go for early BKB in this game, because remember, BKB now stops the bear route too.
That is true. You can still go for the Yules. It's not a terrible choice. You can still throw out the spirits.
Okay.
It's effective. Like BKB, the problem I think with going BKB is you're basically full in commit. Like if you're BKB carrier, Ember, you're that type of hero that goes deep fast. But you're against a PA, right? And the right clicks of the Lone Druid are
the problem, I like the Yules build a little bit more because you're the team that has the better AoE team fight. So the problem with going Yules, if you are against like a Sand King, Phoenix, Medusa kind of combo, is you Yules yourself and they just get that big old wombo combo on top of you. But when you're the one that's just buying yourself a couple seconds for your team to set up behind you, that's a lot better. I don't think Ember's going to die here, but they are going to put some good damage and at least threaten him.
Yeah.
Good to get him back off that wave.
Also, the Flame Guard was expended. That's a lot of mana, and important thing when you play Ember, it's not as much about damage exchange. It's actually the mana exchange that matters more. Phoenix.
Okay.
That's a kill that shouldn't be happening, but Roots can make magical things happen.
Well, and it's just again, they've been so aggressive contesting that side camp that, yeah, you all of a sudden get that Lone Druid Bear leveled up a little bit, you get the Root online, and you have to more cautiously make that adjustment.
Looks like they are eyeing up Van Score, but the TP's coming in. Zayat, you might want to back.
You can't do this. You can't do this. Yeah.
Pitch does entry. They know. Uh-oh. Nightmare comes out. That hack will get on top of it. They just brain sap him down and finish him off. That's
it's fine. It's when you're playing Treant the way Zayat plays Treant, right? You're getting a lot of scouting information. You're gonna give up those solo kills as long as those solo kills don't turn into 2 or 3 heroes.
Fair point.
Okay, you did.
I think the thing to focus on here is going to be the Sand King. He isn't going for a Blink Rush. We don't. It's interesting that a lot of offlanes we don't see them focus on a Blink Rush anymore. It's weird to see that. You show for a.
It's all right for me to eat a death if I can get a couple of creep waves versus XP and get closer to my level 6, but because the Treant's on the board, you're not stuck at level 4 on this Bane, and yeah.
They put their sentry down. They see Zayat, so they have to be fast before he dewards them. Instead they deward him. Impale coming through. Phoenix taking a lot of damage. Does have the egg. Doesn't want to commit it. Can't die through. There's the overgrowth being used. He actually pops the egg. That's an interesting choice. Alpha Ninja can still get this kill though. Does he want a Remnant in? That's the question. He doesn't trust it. Not against Ghost Stick with the Spike Carapace available.
No, because at that moment they were missing some vision especially in the bottom lane. That it's very, very easy for, and even the Lone Druid at that point. And as Alpha Ninja, you've reached a point in the game where you really do not want to die.
Yeah, I'm still questioning that egg commitment. I know what he's worried about. It's just like an Impale coming out from the Nyx, but.
I mean, again, it's not like don't ever worry about wasting level 1 egg, right? It's not level 1 egg is something that you're only going to use in a team fight in the most favorable of circumstances, or when you're expecting to die anyway. So it's one of those things that until egg gets to level 2, you don't really have to worry about, oh god, I just wasted my ultimate, my hero does nothing.
All right, smoke rotation. This is what we like to see from my Embers. It's not this hero you just want to sit in the lane and farm. You want to use him to leverage an advantage in your other lanes, especially when he has a rough start like he did.
It's a nice idea and nice rotation coming out here from the Dire side, but it's just kind of bad luck that the naive PA has already anticipated this. She's already moved over toward the left side. She might.
Oh no! The hack, he actually used a TP as well. Now Mana's gonna try and get some back, but it won't matter. They're gonna push him back, and he has no assistance in time. Nightmare's gonna be there, but it won't matter. Final tap comes out from Ghost Stick and Van Score. They're gonna chase for him as well. Now that he's the Nightmare, they don't care. Pale, there's the damage. Now he's just trying to finish this off. No crits needed.
That is the timing there is so unfortunate, right? The Medusa's lane because he knows he has the smoke rotation potentially coming in behind him. They gave up on that though, and now you get a, oh man.
Yeah, Bolt, there's more kills. The Root's coming out to Ember as well. He actually has no remnants left. He needs to be careful. Zealer's just going to kite him out and finish him off.
And Ninja's going to die.
Oh, this is painful in the mid lane.
Oh,
this is getting dive everywhere.
This just spiraled out of control, right? Well,
we said about no Pangolier.
I mean, at what point do we start talking about banning this naive PA?
It's not just about the PA though. Like that causes frustration, but you have to give credit to Zayat's Trin, especially. Like this man is. I don't think it's even a stretch to say best performing Trin in the world at the moment. Like this is his hero.
I stand by my comment that I made before the first series. I think he is one of the better. He's one of the best decision-making four-position players in the world right now, and by that I don't just mean the engagements and what he does in the fights. I mean where he chooses to be on the map, the information that he gains for his team, and it's not just on the Treant that he's able to do this.
That's true. But it's definitely a hero that benefits from a lot. Invis heroes, big advantage to them is definitely that they can go deeper and look for things that other people can't safely.
Yep.
Especially at this stage in the game. You get later in the game, you maybe get GPM talent or get a little bit gold. King R, he can't escape. Enjoy Ignis. That should be a talent.
They can't even, they don't have the reveal. They can't even get the rebuttal kill onto Ghostic at the top lane. Oh, yeah.
But it's like the thing to highlight was basically with these type of invis heroes, it is that ability to go deeper with less risk. And honestly, that's what you want in sports. Like, we don't really see many naturally invis heroes play this core anymore as a result. Like, you used to see, I think for a while, people trying to make tree and offlane work was the hilarious one.
Wow.
With media hammer rushes.
Honestly, with that possibility went away with the 6-minute sentry ward change. Like, you're just not, you know, we talked about this in the last series is like Zerg creep, these sentry wards.
You can afford it.
Creeping onto the enemy side of the map. It just makes invis cores unplayable.
And that's kind of the thing. Like, at this stage in the game, there's a lot of freedom for Trin. In about 10 minutes time, the whole area is just going to be laced with sentry. So he has to maximize his usage at this time.
Look, I mean, look at this, by the way, that Ninja has the first item Boots of Travel queued up on this Ember Spirit. I mean, what is he going to do with first item bots in this game?
He might die if the root comes out. There it is. He doesn't actually have the escape plan right now. The fear.
Oh,
why didn't he use a Remnant? Finally, that is so way too close for comfort.
Yeah, I had panned my camera away because I just assumed that he was going to walk back a little bit earlier there, and they're going to...
All right, Syats gets punished.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, you make them... You're a treant. You've been roaming around the enemy side of the map for the entire game, and you make them use a Fiend's Grip to... that. You're dying with a smile on your face there for your Zayats.
True. Trying to push on the tier 1. Van score. Oh my god, the damage. Ghostic moving in. The Braid's going to be on the hack. Can't dodge the impale. Now the Power Strike through the turnaround. The X is going to be dropped. Ghostic needs to move away. Spike characters to cover his escape. And Ninja barely escaping Naive, who is low himself, but they can't get close enough. They're going to dive forward. Look at the opportunity of the Fire Spirits. Actually use the Sun Ray through. Blink away. Naive is going to be close. He's going to take out. Yes, he's just about gone. And the Ignis control up Phoenix means he's going to go down instead. Alongside the PA kill that was just 5 HP away from living. Ungrid in trouble.
Did not accept the re-engagement.
He didn't indeed, and Sela, he's in a lot of trouble. He can't run this off. Brain tap, one more tap, that's all they need. They'll find it as he explodes the caustic. Coming out, Medusa, she's got no mana left, she's got no plan, she can't move as the root holds her in place and she falls. Burrow Strike in return, it's going to kill the Coddle. And now Aki, he needs to make an escape, but Ninja's back in, means they can turn around on Zayas, who cannot get out of this quick enough. And the burn means he can't go in with either. The dodge, the impale misses due to the Remnant, they're going to keep on going. Will they get him is the question. He's going to reach the trees, Zayas is going to live.
That was very strange. Naive played that as if
oh my god,
didn't expect the re-engagement from our Phoenix.
The overgrowth coming out, he can't move away. The turnaround again. Sandking trying to make his escape. The dance reveal. They're going to chase on for the Bane kill and turn around to finish off Old Aki as well, who is just trapped in the tree line, but Burrow strikes away. There's the blink forward. Can he get it? Yes, he can. Naive with a triple kill turnaround. We thought that action was over so much.
I mean, where is AC when you need him? Because there are a lot of welcomes being overstayed. Fight, not expecting the re-engagement from the King R Phoenix. He gets Fire Spirited and dies. But then, you know, Gambit as a whole just are sitting deep in that Radiant side territory, not ready for the PA to come back into the fight. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was 3 times.
That's a huge net win. That's Ordesso again.
It is. That was 3 different occasions. We were like, okay, this fight's over. This is where they stop. And both teams back and forth, just getting a little bit too greedy there.
Well, and it's important at the end of the day, you've now got a PA with an 18-minute Deso triple rate ban, and she's 1.5k gold toward her BKB. I mean, this is. It's just so much earlier than you're ready to deal with this. And I mean, you've got a PA that is on the verge of is halfway through having 2 of her major items, and you've got an Ember Spirit that doesn't have his bots yet. And that's still what he's got. I have to believe that he's got to make that switch to Eul's.
I mean, he should learn.
I don't see what bots first Ember is going to do.
It's too late for it. You're almost 20 minutes in at the stage. You know, it's not like Tinker who can justify it because he's going to recover by farming the lane. Instead, oh my god, Naive!
Yeah.
2 hits. Doesn't need more. Soon he'll only need 1. Meanwhile, bot. Syats trying to fight up against these here, but nice ult coming out. Ignis is controlling. Now the game's coming through. They'll finally get rid of the Ignis. They'll clean up Coddle. But they can't get started. So Naive just arrives, comes in. Dahak taking a lot of damage, can't move away quick enough. Epicenter proof, connected on a lone drill, but no, he's speeding away. He can't do the damage. Nightmare's going to come on a Naive. It'll hold him in place for a second before the final Epicenter prop brings him away. And Zayat left alone against the Phoenix heads that he does not want any part of, but has no choice but to eat it. Lone drill going back in. They're looking for an opportunity.
Team though, not big boy Naive here on the back lines.
And Ghosting arrives on half HP. This is PA's story, and she decides the ending. For a strike away, won't matter. Another dagger coming through. The Bears slowing him down. Root's going to be there, which means the everything. Anything more? Anyone more?
Oh Lord.
They have no answer. They have no answer to this PA right now.
No, they have no answer, and you're not gonna have an answer with the item builds on the other team. I mean, your Medusa at least has made the adjustment going into a more early game focused build with the double Wraithband, Dragon Lance, and Maelstrom. But your Ember Spirit just, I mean, what is he gonna do?
Pray that the crits are not on the side of PA like last time he found her.
If your read in this game, I mean, well, he did. He just bought the bots. If your read in this game as Ember is okay, guys, let me get my bots up and I'll split push and you guys can make space for me and farm. I got news for you. You're not taking 4v5s.
You're against a Nyx as well. Like, that's the other thing. You can't do these split pushes because if Nyx is just near you, Spike Carapace comes out.
He can catch you. Well, I mean, they got two. This is where the power of the double invis strat really kicks in. Because you got these two invis heroes that can find anybody attempting to split push, or in this case, just as a Phoenix, just trying to go up the wave, get some XP. You know, the Phoenix is trying to get his level. That's not like the worst death in the world. People are going, oh, the Phoenix is feeding. No, he's not. He's level. He's like, look at how close the Phoenix is to level 12. He's like, oh, one creep and I've got my level 2A. Well, sorry.
Instead of have to do a little bit of light reading with the book, he did go for a Midas as well. So it feels like Gambit identifying how late they really have to go. I mean, they picked a DOTA. They were kind of already imagining this would go pretty late.
Well, I think it's, again, the Midas is a decent read from the Phoenix player in this game because he's saying, okay, look, we have to have something to deal with this PA, and one of the big things is getting a good egg off in a team fight. If I can get to level 3 egg reasonably early, that's one of the few good options that we have to fully control this BKB PA.
Problems in the road bit as PA decides he wants a second life. He has the BKB now as well. This is... You have to dodge him. You actually can't fight into him to the length, but he's going to force you to. Nightmare comes out to Nyx. They see him. So it doesn't matter. Oh my god, the crit! One hit, no Fiend's Grip for you. A TP out by the Hack. The Overgrowth not on point, but the Impale will be, and it looks like the Hack's going to go down as well.
No respect for human life. Oh my god.
Don't blink, you might... Because there's another kill happening. Old Aki just trying to escape. Can Akulich get out? This is the question. He's going to go for the TP. They have no way of stopping him. Oh, they do. They get the ruin time. Zayat. It looked like this swing was going to be a tiny bit too slow, but... I don't care.
I mean, all right. I think it's time to let the techies through and ban the PA. My god. I mean, 11-1-1 at 22 minutes. Naive just casually destroying the... By the way, you know... almost halfway to the Abyssal Blade.
Let's not also forget that Lone Druid this whole time is just doing whatever he wants and beating the crap out of Tars. And making sure that Paul Alpha Ninja can't do that himself.
Well, again, it's just that this is what you have to do now that you've chosen this Boots of Travel build. But the minute you catch a sniff of an enemy hero, you better already be revenating. Oh my god. Well,
see you later, Phoenix. Oh no, he goes and he dodged out the brain sap. No, the Hack is going from Naive. It is party time on the PA land. BKB coming out looking for it. The Hack getting low. They can't save him instead. He will, and the GG will come out.
He doesn't even need a crit to kill the Medusa. He's just like, whatever. I'm just gonna chase you through your base.
Question is, does he get himself the rampage? Are they trying to stop the rampage or something? What's going on here?
Yeah, everybody DCs. Unfortunately, that doesn't stop it. He deserves it, man. That's legit. I don't care what the game says. That's the legit rampage right there.
Oh my good god, that performance coming out from Naive. I mean,
16-1-1 in a 23-minute game.
In fairness, it wasn't just on how well he done. It also did come down to
Dire are scanning.
Or on your keyboard as you close.
Oh my god.
Is this how we get subscribers, isn't it? And get donations?
Oh, god. Yeah, but it's not our stream, right?
Hello, Twitch chat. I'm a professional.
Dire's middle fallen.
Base pushing time for Virtus Pro. See what I can do here. Empire?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They're gonna do. They got a
Radiant are
fortification.
scanning.
By Rams is down a little bit, but he ain't backing up.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Pretty insane.
Dire's middle
Permanent
tower
Necro
is
book
under
to
attack.
level 1.
Are under attack.
It insta kills anyone within a certain range of the buildings.
Dire's middle barracks is fallen.
Owing to a patch
over?
near you. It is
Dire's
looked
away
middle
for a
barracks
moment.
has fallen.
Now, this is like that typical base. We go team just. You're like, all right, we're gonna do something a bit niche, maybe something we practice, try and catch VP. Know how to.
Yeah.
And if anyone did. I really like that.
Yeah, three
Brazers. You don't need.
Radiant's top tower
Yep.
has been denied.
That's the thing. It comes now that wards stack. Remember when there used to be wards or sentries? Like you've effectively given supports 2 item slot for free every game, and at the same time you incentivize them to spend gold early because you lose so much unreliable gold on death. Just buy easy cheap stat items. Why not?
Oh, they got the courier.
Yank
The
the
grip.
barrier.
And they got the shaker as well. Empire hope to get a couple.
Oh
of
no!
kills. But, oh, they got the Monkey King's tree. No one.
He gets his ult off though. They're still in a lot of trouble.
He's got the frost shield too. It's keeping him alive as Kolos, even with the BKB, cannot man fight against this Monkey King. They will lose the Lich though. Do lose Ramsey. What the fight over there? Alright. A little bit of a throw. Maybe they can do it.
They lost the most important hero before the fight. That's Earthshaker. And
Yeah.
they lost the courier, so he's not gonna have a Shadow Amulet. But good smoke from Team Empire.
VP falling victim to the Na'Vi, losing a critically important hero. No one goes to the leap in, but that was a very easy Quelling Blade cut down on the earlier there. Maybe this goes differently, but you can see no one. They saw him leap. They're pinging it, and well played there. Brew walks up.
Radiant
Push in front
structures
of
are
spinning that
fortified.
4 seconds.
Notice how the Morphling also could do anything.
Yeah.
Like no adaptive.
Even though it's a really late defusal, 23 minutes in. Even Hood first item.
It will not matter as he's still trapped in.
You can just kill them.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Pretty crazy. Now they push in for a second.
Wait,
Radiant's
Soulcatcher
bottom tower is
40%
under
of
attack.
max HP or
Max
current?
is max, isn't it? On a
Dire's
current.
top barracks are under attack.
It's current. Okay, yeah, that makes more balance. That's current.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
BP.
Dire's
Wait.
top barracks has
Wake up.
fallen.
Nothing. I'm just surprised. The BP's weren't expected.
Better luck next
Game
time.
2. We'll see what Empire Hope tries to do. I think drop the Brood, drop the Shadow Demon Bane combo. You can keep the Brood, you can keep the PL. I'm fine with those two heroes.
I feel like their initiator, Brewmaster in this game and the previous one. I mean,
Dire's
maybe a
middle tower
different
is under
perspective
attack.
hero. Frontliners have why I want him to.
I mean, sure, but I feel like we need a miracle if we want to pull anything out with Roger. Calculate it up.
Dire's bottom tower.
All they need is that initial stun lock into the Lich.
Roger. Wait, what? What? I didn't know it could do that. Well, it pulls you across terrain.
So focused.
What the hell? Does it say that in the spell? I mean, I guess it does.
Oh, I
I'm
love
probably just dumb. Hypnotize. Oh, we'll take it out.
Nice people on the grip.
Hey, they got the farmer split off.
They repeal the Monkey King, you can already see.
Oh, and look with this. He just farmed the brood spiders. He just slammed the spiders. Kodos did get the BKB out in time, but the split is dying. Focusing down the prime split. 1 hit away, 2 hits away. Sorry, I lied. Oh, he got out on the other one. Okay, they did have the other.
Dire's middle tower.
But yeah,
is
what's
under
it say on the Lich? How does it describe the Lich spell? No, the other one. Yeah, to move towards a point between. It doesn't say that it gets free pathing. Can you ult? Is there like an ult tip on
Dire's
it?
bottom tower is under attack.
I didn't know that. It doesn't say that it makes it ignore terrain, but it does. It ignores terrain.
Dire's structures
The
are
more you know. Wait, chat. I'm sure you're all gonna all tell me that you already knew that.
They didn't.
They didn't. Okay. Good.
Dire's bottom tower.
That's pretty crazy because yeah, in the right sort of situations, getting people into sort of over and tracking them across the lane could be really nice. As bottom lane, they're into the base. The Brood is dead. No buyback. The Brewmaster trying his best to fight back, but he's got to be a little careful. Of course, does not have the split. Actually keeping himself alive. No one focusing the objective. Take the barracks. The mega creeps are out for VP. And no one. Good focus by Dream, but the backup is there. No one. Will he actually die? He does. They do kill the Monkey King. The Chain Frost begins to bounce between Dream and My Moon. The fish is there as well. Pasha is still alive. Finally falls. Dream getting himself away as well on a slither of HP. Ramsey's trying for the chase. Gets into the PL. Has the vision to chase him down with a Spirit Lance of his own. As Ramsey's picks up the PL. Buybacks coming into play as Empire desperately
They have megas.
try and hold the base, but the megas are there. Buybacks coming out from VP. They're ready to close the game up. I say they're ready. They do get caught out there.
He needs the buyback.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if we see just a straight
He's
buyback.
dropping items
There it
in
is.
front of their base.
What did he drop?
Wraith Band.
Right,
He had extras.
An offering from the frog himself. Roger?
Dire's
This is your classic, Bob. You would probably play this game for another buyback. Fifth buyback.
There's the 5th buyback from VP. Oh, Dream! Who's in the base?
under attack.
Surprising the fountain. But the Bane's in trouble. Leads him down. Shadow Demon. In the fountain. The Balance Strike's going to be off the mark. They're just casually tanking the fountain here, VP, as they dive in Pasha. But he will die. There we go. GG is cool. VP take game 1 as no surprises there. No surprises.
but you have to be able to like you have to cast it on top of yourself basically. And PA is a hero that can just get right back out of that.
Dire team ban.
All right, we better get ready to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm 5, 4, 3.
Radiant team pick.
Everything's focused on the supports, more or less. The Brewmaster will ignore that ban. Every other ban in this game, including the Trin that we mentioned last game, but still no PA ban, which is the big one that we keep thinking. Oh my god.
But I do think there's a case we made. Gambit looked at that last game and saying that Zayat's Trent just ruined us. So much scouting information throughout the match. However, they have forgotten that Zayat's other signature hero, arguably just as good, maybe better than his Trent, is the Elder Titan. Now, he didn't look so good. They ran the Elder Trent Axe combo twice yesterday, and Zayat's very, very atypically looked like he struggled a bit on that hero, but he's as good an Elder Titan player, I think, as there's out there right now. I do like the adjustment. A lot of team fight options as it goes on.
I think the highlightable point though with that combo between ET and PA that is there is that pick isn't just because Zayat's is good on that hero. It's the natural order, right, for the PA.
It's the natural order, yes. And remember, one of the big things about the Elder Titan rework. So if you go all the way back to when Elder Titan was nerfed, okay, the big nerf to Elder Titan is that for the physical part of the aura, to take away your armor, he needs to be standing right on top of you. He can't just send the spirit anymore. That's only the magic damage part of the aura now that's attached to the spirit. But with the rework, Elder Titan now gets an armor bonus, all right, from using the spirit. So he, at least against physical damage, he's much more likely to actually be able to stand in the middle of the fight, apply the physical damage part of that aura, take away your base armor, so that PA will much more directly benefit from that now.
The interesting part now is whether no Pangolier double down and center around this Elder Titan, because the PA is great, yes, but you mentioned that magic amplification element or the resistance. You can do things like this. You can buff up the damage that comes out from that as well.
Okay, and the other big part of the equation for Gambit is you need to have something that deals with a B. We have now seen 3 straight games where Naive has just crushed everybody with the PA, and yes, it's not just him. The team is playing wonderfully around him, but if you do not have a dedicated BKB breaker in your lineup, and
you didn't want to see this, Alan. You didn't want to see this. I remember you said, but you're gonna have to swallow this pill.
The combo with Lich is cool. Okay, the Soulbind Chain Frost combo is neat, but again, I see where's the BKB side of Gambit?
Oh,
what do you do when this PA gets 2 items up?
True. Although I am just thinking for a moment how brutal this is going to be with the Tidehunter pick. Lich, Grimstroke, Tidehunter. That damage is insane. Inkswell, Frost Armor, and then Anchor Smashes.
It's great, but you got to get it. There's so much XP dependence now on the side of Gambit. And by the way, one of these 4 heroes has to be a core. Or I'm sorry, 2 of these 4 heroes have to be core. So this is looking like you might see Grimstroke core?
Possibly. Well, a Lich, could that run as core? I'm not sure. I don't see that.
You definitely. So Lich is the only one of the heroes that's definitely going to be the support, right? All these other. I mean, you can't have 2 offlaners. So you would guess that Sand King or Tidehunter would be your offlaner. But then where does that leave Grimstroke?
Actually, you could run against the PA.
Tide mid?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because the damage block, you can actually reduce that damage. You can't really do anything.
But does it do like?
It doesn't do anything itself.
Fine, but yeah, that's fine, and it might shut her down a little bit. But remember, in the very first game, we already saw a game where Naive got absolutely just crushed in lane, and yes, okay, fine. It took a big Roche fight to bring them back into the game, but the point remains that I don't think you're going to be able to end the game before PA gets to Deso BKB, and once she gets to Deso BKB. Through 4 hero picks, you have absolutely nothing to deal with that, and you have a lot to deal with from the other 3 heroes of Pango as well.
Oh,
like you have a lone druid, you have now a lone druid that's going to be applying a pressure, applying split push pressure along the map when you don't really have much against a split push as Gambit right now.
I think this is most likely tied mid. After all, they don't have Fang pick, so look towards something like a Luna, but what are you going to combo with that? How is that going to work out that well? Do you see the Grimstroke with the Luna? What? There isn't really a combo between those two. I don't feel like you've got a strong lane for someone like a Luna.
It just doesn't. It just seems weird to me. You're going to put Alpha Ninja or Doxek on a Tidehunter? I mean, this is just not the way that those two players play Dota. Now, they want to be on heroes like Medusa, and they want to be on heroes that can just win the game, and that don't necessarily need to be fighting around their team constantly.
Whoa! Are you telling me you're not a fan of the anchor smash damage builds now? Come on, go build your Daedaluses, Divine Rapiers. And there's that Luna.
All right. I mean, the Luna pick was a great call, but again, they are all.
That's
you have absolutely nothing to do with it.
And it's also, like I was saying before, you don't have this strong support combo for the Luna. Lich can kind of throw himself out there, but Luna can't assist too much with that. And if you get a Grimstroke, it's gonna have to do the same thing. Either of these heroes are the ones moving forward. And wow,
God, I love this. Oh, okay, people do not understand how good this Shadow Demon hero is right now. I thought the Shadow Demon hero was going to be a come, and it's going to be a core. This is good. Oh God, this is. I've thought this hero was going to become a thing for a long time. I think this is a clean out draft. Now, again, Gambit have the snowball potential there. They have the kind of, it is going to be a core tide. They have the kind of team fight together with push that they can take a tremendous amount of map control if they're able to win the lane. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm counting them out. But if they fall behind with this lineup, they have a hard, no Pangolier with the Shadow Demon pick, especially as a core. They have a hard answer to Luna. This is a 4 protect 1 strategy by Gambit, and it's being run into an SD. You can use the Luna's illusions for yourself. You can always get her out of the fight.
There's another thing.
If P snowballs, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, on top of that, I think it's important to highlight, we were talking earlier about Elder Titan and his spirit form with the natural order.
Yep.
You're laning with a Shadow Demon. That hero is going to benefit a lot from that amplification.
Absolutely, absolutely. Not only that, but because you can duplicate the Shadow, you can duplicate the Elder Titan, and you can get the physical damage aura. So wow, that's just especially to run it as a core. The more I look at these drafts and how I think the tempo of the game, right? You worry about like the extent to which Shadow Demon hard counters Luna is greatly mitigated if the Luna gets out to too huge a lead, because she is mobile and the Shadow Demon starts to feel very squishy. He just gets killed off. But the fact that he's a core means he's going to be able to shadow, no pun intended, this Luna around the map and just limit what she can do in terms of objective damage.
True. On top of that, the rework for Shadow Demon, it's actually quite scary in this type of lane. Soul catcher someone, remove a giant chunk of their HP. Suddenly,
yeah, that rework is just. I mean, there's a lot of things in this patch that, past whatever they were enjoying at Valve HQ, but we're gonna start seeing Soulcatcher Necrophos, and it's just gonna be the dumbest thing that you've ever seen.
No, I agree. It's like there's a lot of things you can combo with, and in fairness, for what it does, I was about to say, in these type of scenarios, what you usually see from Elder Titan very early on is they stack a bunch of camps, they get a huge aura, they walk in, they almost kill you, can never finish it. If you start off at the same time with the Soul Catcher, they don't actually have enough time to run away. They're probably going to die. This is actually stupidly scary.
Look at I don't know that these are going to be the lane configurations that we're going to end up with. But
I think they're dodging the tide.
This is interesting that we are sending 3 Radiant heroes to the top lane, and one of them is not the Luna. Surely one of the supports is gonna rotate our TP back down.
Probably, most likely, but I think they're trying to scout out whether PA is dodging the tide because they can't have PA up against tide.
She definitely is, but that's the very underrated aspect of Lone Druid is that Lone Druid becomes a fallback solo mid option in a lot of drafts in which he's picked. You don't often see him forced to go there, but it is nice to pick that hero second phase knowing that you have that option.
I mean, that was the original thing you do with him, right? Like originally. It was. And then it switched to everyone obsessing over the off lane, not understanding it only worked for certain teams, and then back to safe lane. But hero, because with quick levels in a one-on-one scenario, it's a two-on-one scenario with that bear.
Okay, so we should now know, both teams should now know something about the lanes that they're facing, and at least initially, it doesn't look like we're going to see lane swaps.
Oh, they're hanging on it. I think the logic here is they want to get a pick off and then rotate. Like, this is typically what we see, because otherwise you play this musical chairs that you never win.
Or okay, all right, okay, maybe let's just look and see. Okay, Vamscore is going to make the TP down to the shrine, and we are going to see typical 2-1-2 coming out for both teams head to head.
Their support's interchangeable though. Like, if they want to switch the lanes in terms of cores, they just need to get a pick off and then make the change. I guess they're just going to allow this though.
But I guess the reason that I'm focusing on that is because to me that's a clean win, all right, for the side of no Pangolier, because they're not gonna try to get that Tide PA matchup. Pick this Tide hero to begin with.
Well, there's your combo on the top lane. Aki took a lot of damage in return because of the tower, but Inkswell with Barrow Strike, it's pain. It's just pure pain. Zayats in the meantime is looking to pull through here. He just wants to actually get as much aura to go, and then just in the meantime set up so he can actually get level 2 before the side of Gambit.
Yeah, and you look at those mass mango builds on both. Like Grimstroke has 2 mangoes. You know, you got to keep that mana up. We saw with the Bane in the last game to maintain that threat on the PA. At least make her think about moving forward to farm the waves. But they're doing a good job controlling lane equilibrium. They're going to get some nice damage onto Sioma now.
Yeah, they actually might get him. It's going to be close, but the dagger will mean that King Arn can't get close enough.
Very nice.
More threatening level 2 on the side of Gambit in this top lane than the side of no Pangolier do, though.
For sure.
Especially in that scenario, if he had, for example, Stroke of Fate, Slayer's dead every time. There's no real kind of kiting that can go on. Which is, you know, funny thing to say of Cole. He's infamous for kiting people out with his very high movement speed. Old man on a horse. You know, he's probably like a little bit lighter, so he doesn't weigh the horse down as heavily.
And Grimstroke, you know,
yeah, he's just going to stop this.
Wow, that's a damaging camp. You need to be a little careful about that.
He's got his Inkswell though. He's trading again. Oh no, nice Illuminate away. Player will be fine. Okay. That would have put him pretty low actually if he didn't get the blind light out. Is it me, or does this not feel like CI's Dota? Because this is oddly quiet.
I think this is kind of, again, I think, at least on the side of no Pangolier, this is kind of by design. That, you know, when you're picking this PA first, you gotta eventually expect that the other team is going to try to hard counter it in lane. And here you go, the PA is a level ahead of both of the Sand King just hit level 3.
The problem is, to do this, Slayer has to stay far away from the lane, and Cole, without levels, isn't exactly a threatening thing.
But that's one of the strengths of Catalyst support, is that he is a hero that can play back behind the trees, play far away from the lane. He doesn't necessarily have to be even in XP range to, and this is just the idea that he's able to complete this pull now. Gives the PA another wave here under tower. They're going to have to contest this.
Nicely timed. Yeah, Slayer can't get away. He's going to get rid of the Phantom's Embrace. The Inkswell should be enough to finish him off. The final tap, there's your first blood. Right, perfectly. They knew that you can go on PA because, of course, there is the Phantom Strike any given time.
That was really ignition of they needed to do something about this Coddle manipulating the wave equilibrium and knowing that that's the right target to go on.
Aki just trying to get as much gold as he can. This is another thing. When you're up against another melee hero, Caustic Finale just asserts full dominance. It's very hard for you to do anything but throw daggers. Especially when you're up. Like, that's the other thing. He knows he's going to have to do this. This is why this stick is already getting great value for Sand King. King R. This is pretty deep to be alone. He's going for this, so the Phantom's Race does return. There is the blind light to force King R away. Dagger coming out, but Aki on his way across. Naive has to back away from this. No, he goes in.
Oh.
They waited for it as well. They haven't got Ink Swell, though.
Yeah. Nice idea. A little over aggressive.
That was nicely played by Kulich. He actually held on to the Barrow Strike until the Phantom Strike got committed.
Yeah, no, that's the second time there that he's had a very, very good timing on that Barrow Strike. Patience.
They're going on Luna here. Nope, can't get it. Lucent Beam comes out. Should be fine. But she's being forced to bring out a lot of regen. Even with the stick, they balanced Frost Shield. It's reasonable. Totally reasonable. Hero, good rework. I mean, at least the hero does something now, for goodness sake. Instead of just walking over to a... And then that range.
I'm gonna cast Frost Armor on my towers, guys.
It's fun.
Let's go, Dota.
Hang on. He might get this. All taps out. And banging runes as well. Thank you very much. Hey. Oof. Hey, I'll have you know, right? The whole Frost Armor thing is great. You just get level 25. The old Frost Armor it was. You'd get like, what was it? You'd have Ogre Magi, Trin, and Lich in the same team. And it was I refuse to lose team.
Yeah, but okay. But then you have a game of Dota that, regardless of the other 7 heroes involved, that is just awful.
Yeah, no one wins.
Even if you're playing the heroes in question, it's awful.
Okay, like I personally am not a fan of Necrophos, so I wouldn't advise this type of that type of lineup.
Who wants to play a level 25 Lich?
But my point is, like, it's for those type of people that like heroes like Necrophos. They don't exactly like winning themselves. They just like other people not winning.
Okay, so people that have no soul. Got it. Nice. I actually like it.
I mean, it's probably time to stop being mean to Darkseer. It's not the first pick offlaner anymore, like it used to be. But still, hey, at least you got nice combos now, like the Spirit Breaker, which I gave you a little teaser for. I know you're gonna end up in your pub games attempting that.
No.
Did I mention I done it in a game where it had Ogre Magi as well?
Yeah, that's actually pretty.
Yeah.
The all annoying tanky strat.
It was just the need for speed. I think I was charging into late game voids and taking 2/3 of the HP, which set up nicely for the Never Strike afterwards. And same on this for Illuminate, trying to steal some gold. But Kulich, he can get a decent amount of this still.
Oh, that's the BM right there. No.
Get away from this gold.
Get off my high ground.
He was just waiting to take it, but the Barrow Strike through. Oh, he missed one of them.
That's alright. They actually got a lot of that gold.
Yeah. You want the mid lane is just...
That's the... You can't reliably farm camps against a card.
What?
Okay.
Alright. The Spirit Court fans score under the tower. I was about to say about the mid lane being probably... I don't think we're ever going to see a more passive matchup than these two. I mean, it's tied anyway. That's the effect of that hero in any lane. Like, as to refer to it as in team fights, if he doesn't have Ravage, ignore him, walk around him.
I mean, my standard for that is, like, if you remember back a couple TIs ago, there was a 1v1 mid played, and there was an OD versus OD. And it was like it was just the most unwatchable thing ever. I think it was like Ferrari. It was like 2 really ridiculously good players, and you're going, oh, whoa.
Right, top lane. Oh no, he gets away.
Nope.
Slayer's movements are on point around this area. Like, he dies occasionally, but he's... Barrow Strike dive the tower, they'll get the kill.
Fine. And there was a TP response that was coming in there that did get canceled. But again, you know, one of the most underrated aspect of support play is your job is to provide your team information.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it's especially in the current day and format, people still haven't caught into this notion that, yes, you can't expect to not die at all times. There's a reason these high-level players tend to deny themselves to towers, for example. You just got to accept that you can't live forever. Unless you're PA. Although I'm not sure I'd advise support PA. That's a whole different discussion. Who, speaking of, is dodging out the Luna as best he can, as the hack did TP top first, which I think they saw him. Oh, speaking of bot though, where the PA is, they're trying to go in here. Ghost is taking a lot of damage, trying to move away. Shock does come out. Needs to get further away from Wobble the Kulich though, who has got the Barrow Strike coming off cooldown. Stun through. Will get the kill. King R's already dead as well. Meanwhile, looks like Slayer's going to go down in the top lane. Under his own tower, in fact.
Yeah, they abandoned that top lane. there. They're trying to give Slayer a couple of solo waves.
I mean, this is
Does not work out.
Like this is the way to ensure Luna is relevant, is just leaving her alone to farm. It's not exactly a kill-driven hero. She'd love to have some kills, but she'll happily settle for creeps. There you go. Ghost Digger Rise finally. He has got his raindrop now, so a little bit hard to kill.
Gotta be said that the first 10 minutes of this game have gone pretty much perfectly according to plan for Gambit.
Yeah.
They have a decent sized advantage after this laning phase. You know, they're tied. He is going the multiple bracer build. He's tanking up, going to get in the middle of these fights. He's going to go medallion, it looks like.
He's trying to maximize anchor smash. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So the thing about Tide in his current context with the change to phase boots, this hero is one of the better users of that, right? Like, he's never going to have to back off. He'll keep running it constantly. And this enables him to do so constantly.
Well, and that's what really kind of brought Tide back, along with the introduction of Refresher Shard, is the reworks to skills like Gush, where he can actually threaten heroes on the enemy side even with Ravage down. Like it used to be that Tide sort of ravaged and aggro smashed and stood there. Now he can actually get into the back line and threaten heroes.
Yeah, there's definitely a change that was needed because people kind of got to the stage where they realized, if he hasn't got his ult, he literally does nothing. And actually, they've made a lot of effort over the years on that situation, right?
Now, the other thing that the medallion rush on Tide's going to do here is it opens up
Ghost Stick
without a classic rope.
Bounces range coming out, Chain Frost bouncing back towards him, a lot of damage done. The hack sidesteps the splitter, and they'll clean up a kill on the Ghost Stick. Sealer is here now. 4 Shadow Demons that you just give up a kill on. Ingar will be able to move away in time, courtesy of the Inkswell. And they actually rotated a lot of support to try and save him.
Like how they're using that. He's felt very mobile in the engagement so far.
It's a pretty filthy hero. He can be pretty mobile with the Inkswell, of course. Interestingly enough, he's got 1 point Stroke of Fate, but that's it. Like, he's not looking to max that out at all, which is fair. It's not like someone's got a stack of illusions or creeps that can add up the damage.
Yeah, it's interesting. Most of the discussion around this hero when he's picked tends to revive around tends to center around the ultimate combos, which is no surprise. But you know, lost in that is that his other skills do give him quite a bit of utility. Right, and there are multiple viable skill builds on this hero as well.
Sorry, I'm just. Ghost Stick actually popped the Shadow Poison way too early. He could have kept stacking it. I don't know if he mismatched or something, but he was far from killing off Tide. That's an interesting choice. They did actually use the Purge as well, so...
Because I think that's going to tell the Gambit is approach. The big question in my mind right now is sort of what's the timing window that they have in their head that they're going to try to attack this PA lineup.
That's the thing. Do you want to go for earlier items that allow you to be more aggressive, or are you going to go for some big pickups like Blinks, Force, these type of things?
And look at this, by the way. Naive actually does have the Battle Fury queued up here.
And well, he knows he's not in control.
She's not going to be able to hit that Deso BKB window here because of the start of the game.
I mean, it's a fair assessment right now. She's pretty poor. And honestly, in this mid-game scenario, the damage that comes out from a Kulich and Tidehunter, like, you just want to dodge them. You just want to dodge them for like the next 5-10 minutes.
I don't know though. It's such a, you're walking such a tightrope though, because potentially by getting the Battle Fury, you lengthen the period of time where that enemy lineup really threatens you. Hero.
The problem is whether they actually have an alternative. The kill potential is not that high.
I mean, one of the big mistakes that you make is you think of you get to your big power spike and then the rest of your team has nothing, and it's like, okay, I'm a PA, I jump in a fight, but at the end of the day, I'm one hero. You know, the rest of the team is minus the Lone Druid. The rest of the team is looking like they're not doing so well.
Yeah, but Lone Druid's not going to offer much.
You gotta sink those power spikes.
But that's the big issue. Like Lone Druid, he's not really offering much in his current context. He's just looking to farm the split push the best he can.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're going to be willing to take that tower trade here
if they can get there quick enough. I mean, Luna is going to be much quicker than the scenario. Right now, it's just Naive.
Oh yeah, Sand King can hold this tower by himself for sure.
Yeah, and Naive's job right now is just dancing around the jungle. Like, I don't see him looking to push lanes anytime soon, which puts all the pressure on Lone Druid.
sort of max efficiency. They're able to take that tower. They're going to be able to clear out the enemy jungle, limit that farm. They're giving 2 other heroes, you know, 3 through 5 positions, solo experience in those lanes. And this is the kind of thing that turns a 3K net worth lead into a 5K lead where all heroes are level.
It can get insane quickly, and the thing that we talked about, like this being what feels like a death ball meta we're heading towards, GAMBIT could choose to do that at any point, but they know no PANGOLIER aren't farming anywhere near as effectively. But actually, they're going to go for the hack here. Purge is coming out, rotation in. Naive sick of farming creeps. He wants to farm heroes. Bam strike. But the hack will fall before you use the Lucent Beam.
The ultimate high value target, and you got the kill on the one hero that you most wanted it on. And notice that the PA has not bought any of these items. This Battle Fury decision is not set in stone.
I mean, you know, you don't want to be selling up. We just said Lone Druid, he's gonna have a big bunch of time where he doesn't really do too much in these fights. And you were saying in the previous game, if you're a PA and you're building a Battle Fury and that's your sole focus, don't pick PA.
Yeah, I just... Luna, that once you get full slotted as the PA, nobody's going to do much to you. This is the kind of free game where you could think about doing that, but I still a good enemy team is not going to let you get away with that stuff. They're going to recognize what you're doing, and GAMBIT has enough on their side that they can group up and put way that they're being super methodical right now, sort of peeling the layer back of these tier 1 towers like an onion. They're going to get in there, take this bottom tier 1 tower, look to control the Roshan pit. Doc's got to be careful here, though. This is prime pickoff time for this Luna top.
If they actually get Slayer at a good position, he pushes you back to the blind light,
and
you're
they know
dead.
Exactly where she is. They've got a ward. I don't think they're quite in position to go for this. Maybe they were just a few seconds late.
There it is.
Come right back in.
Now the TB's coming in. It's right next to the shrine. They'll actually drop the Ignis, trying to actually stun them in place, but it won't matter. The hack trying to move away, taking a lot of damage here. He's going to get low. Shrine gets activated, but he'll stay alive barely.
Oh,
now they'll chase forward. They can find Ghost Stick instead of the killing of Lich. There is some blood spill in return.
Too late, and always risky to take the fight around that shrine when you've got the towers around it alive. There's so much room for support to come in.
You saw how close they had it. That shrine made all the difference, and despite the purge, she's still a fast girl. She can get across in time.
I actually, though, in a risk return sense, I agree with that move, because I think that's the kind of thing that 2 straight kills on the highest value target on the opposing side is the kind of thing that just, it makes you feel a lot better about the game. The PA has now committed to the Battle Fury. She went ahead and picked up the Demon Edge.
I feel like that moment there was the decision maker, because you look at that fight, and honestly, when you feed that much gold towards Luna, you know you're going to be up behind her. I mean, not right now in terms of net worth, but give it 3-4 minutes at this rate, Luna would overtake the PA without a Battle Fury. And top, Ghost Stick. He knows he's dead. He's just trying to farm a few creeps before he goes. That is, of course, the Blink Dagger now on the Sand King.
You know, but the kind of like ridiculous mid-game damage output that you saw from Naive in the last couple of games is not going to be there, because she's going Battle Fury. You know, there's a huge difference in terms of her ability to jump on people between the Battle Fury BKB builds and the Deso BKB builds.
Fair point. They're just trying to drag this out as much as possible, which puts constantly pushing waves. And I don't know how much Ghost it can give you for this mid-game transition. We saw his attempt. It could have been threatening if he didn't do it next to a shrine, but I think...
Well, the biggest thing about it, right, is that, you know, No Pango are looking at this and they're going, they really do have late game, okay? Because they have the Shadow Demon and the Elder Titan against a Luna. Tide, he does have some more options now with Refresher Shard, Refresher Orb, but he is going to fall off eventually, and they have the tools to control the Luna.
Okay, things have worked out. I found a DD.
Oh, get the... Oh my god, this is so triggering to me. Why are DD runes still a thing? Oh, Lord.
Oh, Rabbit, no!
Well,
they get it! Perfectly timed to steal the road.
Yeah, got sniffed out, son. That's karma right there, baby.
And now in the mid lane, maybe a bonus kind of Zayat. Like, he won't be able to get him in time. He's a little bit too far away from the Lucent Beam. but
I have said for like 3 years now that DD runes should function at at least half effectiveness against Roshan, if not also enemy heroes. I think the idea of like a DD rune spawning outside the Rosh pit and deciding a game is just terrible. But little karma, the frog knows.
Ghost Stick. This isn't where you want to be, buddy. Push come out in a hack. He's looking for Lucent Beam opportunity. After needs to give him vision, but he won't. Not in time anyway. He'll just run him down casually as After Ninja with the phase boots, especially. Ank Smash coming off cooldown. Lucent Beam interrupts, and he's gone. But I think you got like a point. Maybe if there was some sort of nullifier effect in the Rosh pit where you walk in and runes stop working. Bot. That's optimistic, but Lodra, no. His bear used against him. His buddy through the night. He traded the cause. Really nice. Oh no, he's still alive. Is he going to tick out? He's going to be close to the Spirit Vessel. He's gone. No save coming out from Slayer in time. Ignis was a fat useless, not fast.
All right, and Gambit, they have the right reads here. They look like they have taken full control in this one.
I mean, no Pangolierer, they have to be demoralized after.
Again, it's a calculated risk, right? But at the end of the day, and I think it's obviously worthwhile if you get it. I think again, risk reward, it's okay. But the fact that that went against you, yeah, feels bad, man, right? Because now you got a Battle Fury PA that died right after she completed her Battle Fury, desperately trying to make progress toward that BKB.
And Ghost Stick is gone again.
Your core Shadow Demon is just feeding at this point. It's like, which is, what else are you going to do? There's not much that the hero can do in this game state besides that.
And you've got two heroes that are kind of going to do the same thing from like that, shoving out lanes to stop any push, right? Slayer and Ghost Stick. One of them's going to be out there all times. And Gambit draft point with Ghost Stick not able to kill anyone now. They've pushed themselves in this corner where they have to farm. That's all their lineup does.
Yes. And it's very typical. You see this a lot if you go to LAN and you see a lot of young teams. Young teams, one of the characteristics is they look very, very good when they're in their comfort zone. But the minute they get pushed a little bit out of it and have to make those adjustments, things tend to go against them very quickly. And in this game, you know, the PA naive finally being forced to switch off that Deso BKB build that had been so effective in the three previous games. The team forced to make that adjustment in mentality. We're going to protect this PA while she farms rather than just using her to take the fight to the opposite side. All of a sudden, they just look so much less polished in terms of their approach to everything, from where they are on the map to how they take the individual engagements.
It's kind of an interesting thing as well, is when we see the same hero picked over and over for like someone specifically. It seems like a good idea, hands down. It's like, you done a great last game. But like I said, when things start to not go your way, your last two games where things worked well, and pause on that fork because Ghost Stick is done.
There you go.
Oh, at least they sleep on all the Kulich. Can they actually find it? They're going to hold in place with the Fatters? I'm not sure they actually get him, though. He's pretty tanky. There's the fear coming out just when they needed it. BA arrives. But like, to go back to that point, you kind of get to this stage where you start doing things you've done in your previous games because they worked. Right. And you get stuck in a rut.
Right, and we get, sometimes we as casters, analysts, get too focused on, well, they should just ban this hero, when, you know, the other side of the Michael Jordan analogy is, how do you deal with that? You make him do something different, right? You make the PA do something different in this game hero rather than a hero that's taking fights to you constantly on your side of the map. You know, make Michael Jordan shoot the three-pointer.
So like the pub game logic is when you get that person in your game who probably shouldn't be at that ranking because they're making questionable decisions, and you go, that makes no sense. Why is he doing that? Like it works once, and then you kind of catch them off guard, if that makes sense, right? Like, well, but
the flip side, the other side of the coin in that analogy, which I quite like. By the way, again, you can't. The other side of the coin in that analogy, which I quite like, by the way, is that if you have somebody on that situation in your team, you try and make the game easy for them, right? Instead of like flaming the teammate, you try to make the game easy. You say, okay, look, we're gonna do this. We're gonna take a fight here, and we're just gonna keep it simple. And you'll be very surprised how you can untilt someone in Dota. You really can. And it's like, if you watch, it's kind of amazing. If you watch like S4 play pubs, like that's what he does. He just makes the game so easy for his teammates.
I think my favorite one I've had is Lizard. You just listen to him and like, please, sir. Please, kind sir.
Yep.
Kind sir. In CIS pubs, which is, you know, it works. It works.
Pretty good.
Well, for the most. There's always one person who... Your mother and several profanities.
That's what, you know, that's what Blitz does too. He's really good at that. And now he does flame the shit out of you while you're doing it. He's like, okay, you're an idiot. Do this and we'll win. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
It's a little less enjoyable, but still effective.
It's like, yeah, I haven't got time to sugarcoat crap. You just gotta say it straight. It's like, this is what you need to do. You're an idiot for doing this. This will make you smart. God.
Okay.
This is...
I saw a smoke there.
Yeah, they're going. You know what I want? You know what I want to stand out? The thing I keep getting at Sport with the tournaments. Not just having my own obs, but they'll have like the overlays. So like pretty little smoke icons and such, and Aegis icons. Painful
though. Look at that Radiant Ward. Right?
Oh no, they just realized
They know exactly where no Pangolier are on the map at this point. They have such good ward coverage on the dire side of the map. Even if the ward doesn't spot the smoke, you know where the enemy team is just by process of elimination here.
It's true. They can't get over quick enough. They just accept the push in bot and then force the side of no Pangolier to come and deal with that.
And because they know what the alignment is going to be, it's just so easy for GAMBIT to position themselves so that if they're going on anybody, they're going to be going on the tide. Right? I mean, okay, fine. We're good with that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely all cards are in GAMBIT's hands right now. The Vision, we said it before, wins games. And you don't have to have every piece of the map laced to know what's going on. It's just those key choke points, which teams have very quickly learned with this new map layout where Vision matters. And funnily enough,
I do think there, as you see this, unfortunately, this Core Shadow Demon is going to give up another kill. I do think one of the things you're going to see in the next couple weeks in this patch, you're going to see a lot of people carrying Quelling Blades. You're going to see a lot of trees. Because you have to cut trees to get there.
No, that's a fair point. I think that's another reason why Triumph will probably get picked more as well, because you can utilize those trees even better.
Good point.
It used to be that Triumphs would actually pick up Quelling Blades, try and get through trees. Now with the new reworked Nature Skies, don't need that anymore. But it's also like for the Axe, I feel like Axe became a little bit more viable in them as well because of that change. You can now stick your trees really deep.
Little bit of aggression shown here toward the enemy base by GAMBIT. Now they don't, I like this decision a lot. They don't need to hard commit to that. They just need to show enough pressure to make the enemy team rotate back. Again, it's about at all times understanding where on the map they're going to be. You can do that via vision. You can also just do that by applying pressure and knowing that you're far enough ahead or you have the right assets on your team that they're going to be forced to respond. And look at this. This is, I tell you what, I doubted this Tide build, but I really like the direction that he's taking this. Solar Crest into Desolator. Really, again, as you said, maximizing the Anchor Smash and the Gush rather than just being a Ravage.
It's also, I like what you're saying about them hanging around top, because the other advantage they have is if no Pangolier don't come back to respond, they see him shoving out. They've got Sand King split pushing, who does have boost of travel. He can turn up. Oh, they hit the OA from Grimstone. Cole already gone. The disruptions there, Naive. BKB forced to sing runaway to try on to hack. Use the mana to dodge out the jump. Will take a lot of damage. Earthsplit approved. Drags him back to kill the Luna. The Ravage was used, but now, how the hell do you deal with this? You need to move quicker than this, Alpha Ninja. He'll be able to do so with the Inkswell. But they're moving in. Zayats with his own BKB coming into great effect in that fight, and they still see Alpha Ninja. They'll keep on chasing. Epicenter is being charged up. Sand King coming in from behind. He's going to move forward. Trail on top of Lone Druid isn't enough, though. He's so tanky. He's just going to fear them away, force them off with the Lich Armor. It's not going to do. In the meantime, King are ran down by Naive. And GAMBIT, everything backfired for them there.
Yeah, I just, so first off, I think you're absolutely dead on. They were not ready for the Elder Titan BKB. That was so weird. They got off the Grimstroke ulti on the Coddle and the PA. They were able to get the Coddle off the board right away, but the disruption there coming in onto the PA as a save, and Coddle was already basically able to get a spell or two off. That's, yeah, I mean, you're kind of in trouble at that point. And I think there were at least two BKBs on the side, up already on the side of No Pango by the time the Ravage came up.
And, well, Naive feeling still a little bit hurt about how Roche went last time. This time he has an Aegis to work with, and a comrade of his will have a cheese. And, like you said, the BKB on Zayats. insanely effective here. He's no longer a valid target, but we talked about the interaction between him and Phantom Assassin and how important it is to get him off the board.
Yeah, and the Lone Druid has it too. So that's the big mistake, right? They were not ready for 3 BKBs on the side of No Pangolier. They had the vision. They knew exactly where No Pango was on the map. They're just not ready for the fact that by the time that Ninja gets in there into the fight, the Ravage is largely neutralized. I mean, he ravaged at least 2 and I think 3 BKB targets.
Yeah, it looked pretty pathetic for a Ravage.
And the Earth Splitter was already coming in over the top.
So far, Zion's proving why teams sometimes tend to ban this hero against him.
He is just really, really good. You have to be able to do that. You have to have a plan for how are we going to win this fight. Okay.
Just a casual Lich disappearing. Almost died in 1 dagger. But things are worrisome from here because you got that bash of the BKB on PA, the second life as well.
And as a result of just this last 5 minutes of action, look how quickly PA has been able to dip back for the Deso and already has the Basher completed.
They do invade. They don't find anything, but they will get some vision down at least. They should be looking to set up on that tier 1 top, if anything, right now. But the creep wave is pretty far out. They can, however, take the mid tier 2 if they so please. And honestly, Gambit, I don't think they want to try and contend with this. This PA is super scary. And she sees these 2.
Yep.
She might actually see this 2. She's thinking about it. What's it going to be? Naive. There's Dagger, jumps straight in, turns around on Vansicle, gets rid of it. Now for BKB, there's the break on Ninja. No, he's gone. 65 seconds on the sideline, and he does not have buyback. This is going to be Rax.
This is the calls here from No Pango, the shot calling from No Pango has been really, really good in the last 5 to 8 minutes of this.
Naive, that's pretty deep. He's got a second life though. BKB out from Dahak. There's the break on him from the post. Disrupting to protect those split through. Covers everything, and now he goes straight in the back. Dahak. He's gonna use the mana, but as the mana is down, he has no buyback. Even they chase him more, they'll be able to find it. They get the kill on the King R. They want to go in the fountain. No, they decide against it. They are going to be disciplined about this. Get a little bit excited because of the experience last game. Last time Naive was in an enemy base. He's not going to fall for that again. But they just finished. They realize that there's no reason to win a ball back right now. Coming back from the brink here, they do have to be careful because 15 seconds till tide is up, but you still have that Aegis on Naive.
Yeah, I mean, just it's like Gambit just got out shot called in this game. Literally, this is not this is. There are somebody saying in TeamSpeak, right?
Oh, there's the Ravage.
Have our 3 BKB.
Okay, you get rid of it.
We all need to be.
Forest Strike through, Epicenter, there's the Chain Frost well. Zion and Ghost to get a lot of trouble. They should be both going down. They can turn around. Ninja just falls. Naive, he doesn't care. BKB's up, they pick it from. They say, end this damn game. He moves in, trying to create up onto the key Lich here. Doing a lot of damage. They will at least get rid of Zion, so now Sun's up. PA is alone here. Forest Strike through, good control. And the stun lock in from Slayer, just trying to buy enough time, trying to move away. Naive is getting low. Hold a Kulich. Has he done enough to hold this for his team? He might have.
Yep.
Blink forward. He can go for a Virus Strike. He wants Naive, but he can't find him. 4 staffs away from Slayer, and Slayer will be going down. And they hold.
I think they've done enough to prolong the game, basically. And it's funny, too, because you look at the net worth is like, it's 1K net worth, but you have an exposed ancient.
That's the crux.
Half health. I mean, and you have a situation where this No Pangolier lineup, now that PA is fully online, there is nothing. We said this over and over again. I apologize, guys, but there's nothing to deal with her.
Yeah, Luna needs like a good 10 minutes more. Look at Rhymes right now. MKB, sure. Going for a Lincoln's next, which isn't a surprise against the disruption, but still.
No, it's perfectly reasonable, but now everything that you have on the side of Gambit that was going to threaten this PA, I mean, the Tide build, this Tide build looks great until you get the PA coming fully online, and then it doesn't do really anything more.
Yeah, we actually saw how quickly he can die last fight when he got purged, because that's the big thing, right? The guy you didn't think about, the Shadow Demon who seemed useless and kept dying, has an Ags now. Those purges work very effectively against this side of Gambit.
Yeah, this game is kind of watermelon meet Gallagher.
Oh, that's gonna work well. Oh my god, the back straight away. Ninja trying to move away. He can't. He's just held in place. He's broke. He's dead. No buyback
On the
either.
front rows, I hope you remember to wear your ponchos. Yeah.
Oof. Just watch out for the blood splatters. Maybe bring like a visor or something. Things are going to get messy because he does not have buyback. He's gone for 60 seconds.
And it's funny, right? I mean, less than 1K net worth lead, but it just doesn't matter when there's just one here on the enemy team that you have no.
Oh, jump in. See you later, Grimstroke. Forest strike through. Naive is fine though. They can't do enough damage. They could need to move away from this quicker. The missile comes out. No, he can't escape. BKB's activated. Chain Frost gets thrown out. No one's taking any damage here. They stomp through the drag back. They get the kill on the Lich as well. The buybacks are out. Luna, it's all on you. BKB, Eclipse can't even get close enough here. The game is done, and the big crit will decide it for sure. As GAMBIT, they're gone. 2-0 for Pangolier. They are on fire.
This is really a tour de force from them, and just as I was talking, the other side of that point, that a young team can.
Not maybe raging, but you kind of talked over me while I was still talking.
That's why.
No.
I want something else.
That sounds like really good selection.
All good. Egg. Good tombstone.
Oh, where's the car? He can't kill the egg.
3 man.
Oh, the egg's successful. They got Ramsey.
Ages though.
They got Ramsey, but they've lost the Undying. Oh,
They are throwing. I told you. Full forward Rubik mid lineup. Yeah, I am.
I mean, there's
These
still,
doubters here, though.
They're still a ways away from winning this game. But they do have a PA, which should theoretically match up well against Spectre into the late game.
Yeah, let's have. Damage didn't work out though. Yes, it did. And in the end, the Monkey King is the one that falls. Can they get more? They kill the Tombstone real fast. Boom. He's got the call. He's got the Blade Mill. I don't think Roger cares all too much. He just punch him anyway. 2 kills going the way of Virtus Pro, and they did not get the Bane in return, even though they tried their hardest.
Dire's
I'm
bottom
getting the
tower
objectives
is
as
under
your
attack.
VP, but yeah, just nice to get a bit of map control. And show your player to get a certain dominance, to get a nice keyword off.
Well, now it's a different story. Spectre with the Radiance
Dire's top tower
has up
is
the up.
They got him.
The vision from the high ground, the lift with the low ground.
And they got the damage Undying's out. This he does not have buyback.
And Daze is walking high ground. PA is not near anywhere close. PA is farming Ancients.
With the with blur.
Yeah.
Oh
Boy.
Radiant's middle tower has
Got
fallen.
to build the person. Do anything. No damage from the.
No, she almost got
Yeah,
the
Mech,
Deso
I think
complete.
Mech would have been a better item choice.
Deso
Defensive
complete.
one.
Radiant's middle
Dream went on to the low ground, went for solo, but can't even kill a Bane. The Fiend's Grip coming out as well. Koda's too late with the interrupt. Now Pop is on. Clash is the only one stuck in it. Clash is very tanky. Are they going to go back in? I think they can. Why not? The Rubik Monkey ult coming out as well.
Oh, the tip. It's beautiful. Look at that work of art there from Noah. As they'll move in, take the mid-brack. But there's actually the tier 2s in the sidelines, so they can't actually take.
Radiant's middle has fallen.
They're probably can't.
Radiant's middle
They're very close to.
has fallen.
Oh, actually, JK, they're sticking around. Jump in, get back on the last move.
I love it. Ran. Showed on the lane. Went back.
Yeah, no real need for me to.
Radiant's middle
Your
tower is under
Beastmaster lineup.
attack.
I mean, how many times have we seen this?
With Rubik Med, yeah.
Once.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
What? It would be VP.
Made it work. Made it look OP.
He certainly did. I mean, it's going to be great. Other teams are going to now pick it, thinking it's good, and then VP's going to beat them because
It was their plan all along.
Like, they never have wasted positioning around the map. They're always hunting. They always know what to build. Their item choice makes sense. Gosh, a lot of it. I feel like no matter what he's asked to do, he always gets
Radiant's
the
top
maximum
tower
amount of
has
effect.
fallen.
I love this build from Ramp. Radiance limits the PA and Monkey King's down job put by 7. Thanks to the mischance. Get a defusal. Now all of a sudden,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
or any
Dire
of
are scanning.
fire and then
Phantom Assassin is building raid band.
I mean, they're good.
yeah.
But she's lacking, seriously lacking Wraith Band.
I mean, she had 2 raid bands at the start.
You sold them, but because you sold them to finish up
Radiant
her
are scanning.
Well, that is true, yeah. She wanted to get the Deso.
And to be honest, it's better to have 2 Wraith Bands in your infantry than 2 empty slots.
better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all.
That's
Who
deep.
said that? Is that like
And
some-
if you've loved and
Who
lost,
said that,
love again.
Dostoevsky?
Who was the quote? Who put-
Oh, cast the fight!
There isn't.
I see an egg.
Oh, he's raw. He's held down. Where's the Spectre? That is the question. Where is it? Coming. He's already used the grip. No, he hasn't. Just did.
Just did.
There we go.
Didn't.
Oh, he's got the 3-man splitter as well. GG is called.
GG is called.
Win the series. 2-0.
They move to the upper bracket finals.
Team Empire, definitely.